So my essay is about the topic designing babies. So yeah, um, it starts. Technology in the 21st century is advancing at a rate that no human could ever imagine. Designing babies or genetically engineering an embryo sounds interesting, but this idea has already been put out there. Designing babies could be good to a certain extent. For example, we could detect genes that could possibly give the baby a malformation or a mental illness, and we can fix it so that the baby can live a long and healthy life. After a certain extent, designing babies can be detrimental for the balance of life on Earth. If we design babies so they can be good at a certain sport or be extremely smart, that seems good, but it really isn't, since it will not be fair for the other humans alive. Lastly, designing babies is just ethically wrong. Just because we can design babies doesn't mean we should. Humans cannot play Mother Nature God, and designing babies will just bring cultural problems. Designing babies could be used to some extent. Even though it shouldn't be used at all, us humans should just let nature do its thing. If humans would ever have the chance to design babies, we should try to prevent these babies from any malformation, disease, or mental illness. Not only it will benefit the baby, but it will make the parents' life easier, since they have less stuff to worry about. Designing babies works about 95% of times, according to heritage.org. So it is safe to say that this procedure is risk free. Also, if designing babies would exist, it would be a topic that will be regulated by the government, and there will be a council that will discuss ethics of designing babies, according to theweek.co.uk. So, why is genetic engineering bad after a certain extent? This is because genetically modifying babies would just be detrimental for the balance of life on Earth. Just think about it. If every human would be created to have the genes to be as smart as Einstein, or to be as fast as Usain Bolt, or even to be amazingly beautiful, that'll just be complete madness in the world. For example, if we just create babies so that they can be super good at a certain sport, that sport would just lose meaning because people deep inside would know that he or she doesn't have talent and hasn't trained to be what he or she is. Sadly, technology today is advancing so quickly that designing babies will become something inevitable. If us humans let this happen, everything, our achievements, will become meaningless. Therefore, humans will fall into a state of depression because they will not feel euphoria, and maybe that could be the end of the human race. Who knows? In the USA, there was a poll found that 83% of the average people believe that genetically modifying people is taking science and medicine too far, which most of us do agree with. Also, many say that this is an unfair advantage since genetic engineering would be something so expensive that only rich and the elite could afford. That means that rich families will stay rich and the poor families will stay poor because the offspring of the rich families will have such a huge advantage on any field or sport that there will be such a great gap between people that will just create a social injustice around the world. Another reason why designing babies is bad is just for the simple fact that it is an unethical practice to do. Humans can't play as God or as Mother Nature or in whatever any individual believes in because it is just not right. When an embryo is genetically modified, for example, to be the best tennis player or to be the best doctor or to be the most beautiful person in the world, it is like if the parents of the fetus would be choosing their future and fate. Parents do not have a say in what jobs or personality their sons or daughters should be like. It is human nature to become independent from our parents and mature so we can create sons and daughters of our own. But when we genetically modify our babies, we're cutting the normal process of life. Nowadays, humans genetically modify fruits and vegetables, such as seedless grapes. We do this for our own benefits, and there are no consequences since grapes do not have a consciousness. If we start designing babies, there will just be a cultural dilemma around the world, and people will just start to lose their own identity and their own beliefs. Humans should just let nature do what it does. To conclude, designing babies could be good to some extent, since it can cure diseases, mental illnesses, or deformities. Anything beyond those boundaries would just be considered inhumane and unethical. We have seen that if humanity would ever start designing babies, it will create an unbalance on the human race, since designing babies will be something that will cost a lot of money, and not all humans have that sort of money to spend on designing babies. So that would mean that there would be a minority in the world that would have a bigger advantage over other people, and it's just not fair. Also, if designing baby, also designing if designing babies, also designing babies is just morally wrong. Humans do not have the right to play Mother Nature or God. We should just allow nature to do what it does. Thank you.